Banana Blitz UFC Rio is this weekend. Grant's teammate, Grant's friend, Gamrot, is in the main event. Short notice, fighting a bona fide UFC Hall of Famer, kind of a legendary name. I remember, Grant, you mentioned this about Charles even before I really got this in. He is a superstar, especially over there in Brazil. This is a ginormous fight. I don't think it's getting enough buzz. Like I said, I joked with you about Luque and Joel Alvarez on the card. There's a couple other cards. Davis and Figueiredo, always a fun fight. So there's some fights on here, but let's get into Banana Blitz. Guys, to me, really easy question to start. What's the most hyped fight for you guys at UFC Rio?
It's got to be the main event for me. I think people I don't want to say people weren't excited for Fiziev to fight Charles, because I think they were. I think people are almost always excited to watch Fiziev fight. And like you said, Charles is such a huge superstar in Brazil. But I think just the way this kind of went down with Fiziev being out, Gamrot really wanting this fight, and it kind of looked like he wasn't going to get it. I think it was a surprise to a lot of people when the fight got announced. And it's a huge question mark for the division. And I think there's a lot of things that can happen within lightweight after this fight.
Just to be different, that's the correct answer. I'm also really excited about Joel Alvarez versus Vicente Luque. Two bangers, a lot of first-round finishes between the two of them. I think that Joel is going to do very well at welterweight. I do think that there are a few more wrestlers, and he's not going to have the total size that he had against the guys at lightweight, but he's going to make the weight. He's going to feel healthy. And this dude is a finisher. I'm very excited to see this fight.
I love it. I love it. And just our producer pushed you guys, so you were big on the show. By the way, Elle, your eye is looking great. Almost better. Looking phenomenal, Miss Elle Dawson. Shout out. Yeah, those are the two best fights on the card. To me, and I know what you said, Grant, the main event is so good. I am so excited for this main event. We'll talk about it later as well. I can see it go in a couple of different ways too. I don't think one way for one guy, one way for another. I can see Gamrot win two different styles, and I can see Oliveria win this fight in two different styles. That's what makes it great. Makes it so good.
Yeah.
What's a underrated banger for UFC Rio?
I'm gonna say Jafel Filho and Clayton Carpenter on the prelims. I really like Filho. He's a really exciting flyweight. He's very talented, but I'm not sure if it was his last fight or the fight before. He had a lot of 180 positions where he would be in a crazy dominant position, and he was so hunting. He was so just aggressive for the finish that sometimes he'd get reversed. It made for a really exciting fight. Part of me is hopeful that he's filled some of those holes in his games. But part of me is just really excited to watch him fight because he is a really exciting kid.
Yeah, this is underrated banger, not underrated fight. I think the co-main event is going to be an underrated banger. I think Montel Jackson gets a little heat for not being super exciting all the time, but we saw in his last fight that he can be aggressive and he can move forward. And I think Davis and Figueiredo is always in a good fight. Another fight that I'm just super, super excited about that I don't think anyone is talking about for good reason, but I think Ricardo Ramos versus, I'm going to say his name, Kian Khan Ofli. I watched Ofli on the Contenders. No, I'm sorry. The Ultimate Fighter. And I was very impressed with him. I know he didn't win the show, fought a really tough guy. I think he's got a fun style. I like this. I know he's 0-2 or something like that in the UFC. I like this fight.
Both good answer. The correct answer, and will get you 50 bonus points, is any fight, including Walter Walker. That's the correct answer. Okay.
That was another fight.
Dude, I'm so excited for that fight. I cannot wait. Are we going to see another knee bar?
I don't think it's going to be a banger though. That's the only reason I didn't see it. That's why I specifically said you didn't say underrated fight. That is
You're right on that one. But I agree. Walker versus a broomstick. I got it.
He's a guy to watch. He's a guy to watch. I'll give you that.
But in my opinion, if there is not a submission, this is going to be a pretty boring fight. I think Usman kind of runs a lot and doesn't really know what he's doing. Should definitely be on a football field, not in a cage. I think we're going to be like, wow, Walker's that good. Yeah. Or we're going to be like, that was kind of a snooze fest.
What fight at UFC Rio is guaranteed to be a finish?
Guaranteed to be a finish.
There's the one correct answer is obviously Vicente Luque versus Joel Alvarez. Joel Alvarez has never won a fight via decision. He is so dangerous. He's so big and strong. I think he's going to have a lot more energy at welterweight. I'm very excited for this fight.
I'm going to say Bia Mesquita and Arina Alexeva. I know it's a high risk to throw a woman's fight out there for a guaranteed finish, but I feel like Alexeva is crazy. Like, she throws herself into all sorts of crazy positions. She throws super hard punches. And then Bia Mesquita is probably the most dangerous female grappler maybe in the UFC right now, except for, of course, our girl Jillian Robertson. But I love Bia. Bia's a teammate of mine, and she is the women's GOAT in jiu-jitsu. So I feel like there's just a lot of danger happening in that fight.
Right.
This might be a hot take and a little bit of a risk, but I really see this fight ending in a finish.
It's a little bit of a hot take. Grant gets 20 points. The correct answer was Joel Alvarez. Whoever Joel Alvarez was going to fight next, I was leaning Joel Alvarez big time. So, I'm happy to see him as welterweight.
So you think there's no way that goes to a decision?
No, Joel Alvarez. I think Luque is going down a little descending. And I think what Grant said about Joel going to 170, I think he's going to be fired. I think we're going to see his full potential, his full girth, if that makes sense. And I like him there. Yeah. Whoever he was going to fight at 155 was going to be tough for that guy. So, all right. What fight will go the distance at UFC Rio?
I'm going first.
I want Grant to pick the same fight that you picked. Would be the
I was going to, just as a joke.
It's going to be Karolina Kowalkiewicz versus Julia Pilastri.
Okay.
I think I'll save more of this for a little bit later, but I definitely think that both girls are very tough. Karolina is one of the toughest, most seasoned veterans in that division. And I think Pilastri is tough in her own right as well. So I expect that to go to the scorecards.
I'm going with Lucas Almeida versus Michael Aswell. Both these guys are really tough. I think Michael's going to win this pretty easily, but not a ton of power. Doesn't really like to wrestle. I think this one's going to be a pretty easy win for Michael Aswell, but I do see it going to a decision.
I like that. All right. Who's the lock of the card?
Who scored there? Where are the points?
The points. Elle won that one. I'm sorry. Elle won 5 more points. Who's the lock of the what?
Only 5?
I'm sorry. That's what the scoreboard said.
He doesn't make the rules, Elle.
He does. And he changes them as he goes.
Who's the lock of the card at UFC Rio? Go ahead.
Oh, yeah. Give me the dangerous job.
Well, I went first last time. So.
Joel Alvarez. He's the lock. He's a minus 600, and I honestly think that line should be bigger.
That is a crazy line. That's a big line.
That's a big line, but like you said, man, Vicente's just on his way down. Joel's in his early 30s, I think. Early 30s, 32. Wow, Luque's only 33 years old. That's not good. I think Joel Alvarez gets this by TKO pretty easily or submission.
I think that is the right answer.
Yeah.
I'm pretty confident on Walter Walker as well.
There we go. That's the right answer. 10 more points to Elle.
I do think Usman poses a little bit of a different puzzle just because he's so big. But I just feel like Walter is so athletic. And I feel like Usman tends to if he wins, it's because he's just a little bit more athletic. And I think Walker can hopefully compete with him in those areas. And then he's so dangerous on the ground, which is such a unique trait at heavyweight.
Yeah, I love Walker in that spot. He's only minus 300 too. I kind of already looked into that. I think, and him via a winning plus submission. Love that. All right, underdog. So you guys got Luke Alvarez at minus 600. Walker was minus 300. 2 big favorites. Who's an underdog that can shock the world at UFC Rio? And it can't be Gamrot. Gamrot's the betting favorite. Isn't that wild?
They're tied up now.
Even okay.
Yeah, so
you could pick one of them if you wanted.
I would have said Gamrot, but I really think there's a lot of value with Karolina here. I think people are counting her out because she's older. But she is, and I train with this girl. She is still such a complete fighter. She's so tough.
She's really good at connecting with people's eyes too, I hear.
No, that wasn't her.
Oh, okay.
No. Carolina is an incredibly safe training partner. That is a different person. Okay. Carolina has never hurt me.
This is how rumors start, Dave.
You weren't even close.
It was Paige Van Zandt, wasn't it?
Same first letter. Anyway, but she's such a complete fighter, and she throws so much volume on the feet. And Julia Pilastri has been very up and down. She is the younger prospect. Carolina has had some tough luck fighting these young Brazilian prospects in Brazil. But I feel like this is a more favorable matchup than she's had more recently.
What's the betting lines on that? I didn't check that out.
She's plus 325.
Wow.
And the girl she's fighting is hang on. I was just looking at it.
Minus 450.
She's 1-2 in the UFC. So she's like, and like her losses, she lost to Josephine Knudsen, who is good. And then she lost to Lupi, who's also good. So her losses are not to, but then went to a split decision with Corey McKenna, who I think was a little undersized and got in a little bit early.
Corey McKenna?
Yeah, didn't have like a super strong run in the UFC, even though I do think she's very talented. She's
very nice girl. Very nice. But
a little undersized. Like she can make 105. So I think that the line should be much closer for Carolina here.
No, I actually you're talking me into that big time. Like plus 325. That's nice.
I have to disagree. I've never lost a round against KK, so yeah, I don't think she's that good. No, mine is Davison Figueiredo, former world champion.
Yeah.
In Brazil.
Yeah.
I like him in this fight. I think Montel Jackson's got a good shot, but I just don't think that he's fought people on Davison's level. And so for plus 250, that's kind of my go-to.
I like that. I like both of them. Probably the easiest question here on Banana Blitz. Who's the biggest superstar of UFC Rio?
We'll say it together. 1, 2, 3.
Charles Oliveira.
It's like you guys are married or something. Another easy one to me. Who is the prospect to watch at UFC Rio?
I don't know if you're going to agree with me. I think the prospect to watch is Michael Aswell. I really like Michael Aswell.
It is Walter Walker.
He's already
Dawson, 200 points.
He's been in the UFC long enough that I feel like people know who he is now.
He's still a hot prospect. He's
a hot prospect.
He's got 3 fights. That's a prospect.
That's fair. Well, Michael Aswell has 1. So
and
really
he lost
on very short notice up a weight class to the guy who has only beat guys who are fighting up a weight class, by the way.
Sounds like a lot of excuses, okay? Chael Sonnen never lost a round. All right, you just got to win fights.
I thought Aswell had a really impressive showing on Contender Series, and I think people don't know who he is, so that's why I want to bring him up. I like his boxing. He's super fun to watch. He's a dog, and I think the UFC is giving him a matchup where he can really shine here. So I expect him to look really good. He did them a favor, taking a really tough fight up a weight class short notice. So I'm interested to see what he can do at featherweight.
Yeah, like I said, I'm excited for Ryan Hall at heavyweight. So that's
Ryan Hall at heavyweight.
That's my Walker. Walter. There.
I get it. Last two, I'm going to put them together because I think it's super. I think they should go together. I could be wrong. Who's the fighter that has the most to gain, and who is the fighter that has the most to lose?
I think it's the same fight.
Yes.
Yeah,
I agree.
It's Gamrot.
Yes.
Oh, I was going to say no. Yeah, it's Gamrot.
It's Gamrot. If Gamrot wins here, short notice against one of the top guys, immediate title shot, and quite possibly his last opportunity to win that title shot. If he loses here, I think he can get passed over for a lot of big opportunities, which he already has been in the past. So I think this is an important fight for Gamrot.
Most to gain is Gamrot. Most to lose is Charles, I think.
Yeah.
His hometown. You fighting a guy that's coming in on short notice. I think this fight is just so close, you know.
I could argue, guys, the fighter most to gain is Gamrot. The fighter that has most to lose is Gamrot. Like,
I agree.
This is I agree kind of with Elle. The UFC's wonky. I know the lightweight division's been a little sticky lately. I feel like they're going now. I think Ilya's getting matched up in January. We got our Hooker and Arman fight. I think it's starting to go. So I don't want to say Gamrot's done winning the championship. That might be a little tough, but I get what you're saying. It's a tough division to get through. I understand. But if he wins this fight, he's right there. If he loses it, he just becomes another guy in that mix of 10 or 12.
Also, for Charles, I feel like not a whole lot changes for Charles if he loses this fight.
I agree with that. Yeah, he's kind of
he's such a superstar, and they can always throw him on as a
Chandler, Gaethje.
Because he's lost big fights, and his stock has not dropped as much as you would think. He lost to Arman, and then like one fight later got a title shot again. So it's I don't think he loses as much as Gamrot does. I think Gamrot gets passed over just as is.
Yeah.
Here's my argument. If Charles wins, I think that there's a scenario where he gets another title shot. Because let's just say, because Arman is fighting for the number one contender spot. He's obviously going to beat Dan Hooker. He fights Victoria. Let's say he wins. This is a lot of ifs, but let's say he wins. They say, okay, Charles, you lost a split decision in a great fight and almost submitted this dude 8 times. We're going to throw you back in there. So if he loses, there's no scenario where he gets another title shot. None. Doesn't matter who wins. If Arman wins, they go, well, Gamrot beat Arman. Let's put Gamrot in there. That's why I think he's got a lot to lose here. And I think he's so rich, he's not fighting to make money right now. I think he's fighting to try to win that belt one more time and then walk away. So to me, he loses this fight. His next fight is probably going to be Paddy Pimblett.
I don't know. He loses to Islam, beats Beneil, which is obviously a good win, but it's another guy that the UFC has constantly passed over for big opportunities. Then he loses to Arman, albeit a close fight. They used Michael Chandler to get him back to a title shot. I just feel like Charles is such a big star that if the UFC has any fight that makes sense that could get Charles back to a title shot, they'll do it.
But the issue is like, who does he fight? Say he loses. Who does he fight that, Paddy? Him versus Arman again.
No, so that's funny. So all these ifs, that's the one I didn't hear yet. So this is, I was going to throw that idea out there. What happens if Charles loses this fight and then Paddy even beats Ilya? And somehow in that mix, Charles, you're right. He has to fight one of those top 5 guys. I don't know if Gaethje's going to fight again. I don't know. Maybe it's Max. How about Charles versus Max? And we all think Max is going to win, and Charles wins that in phenomenal fashion. Charles versus Paddy is a fresh matchup.
I agree. I think there's too many fun fights for them to do for Charles because of his stardom.
You changed me on Charles. I thought he would kind of be out. I think he's never out of fighting for a championship. Like, he could fight for the BMF, the welterweight, featherweight. He is one. He is that guy. He's always one big win away from maybe fighting for the title. I'm not saying he is, but maybe.
Yeah, but the issue is if Paddy wins the belt, it's an immediate rematch. You know what I'm saying? Like there's a lot, and then it's just Charles and older. Maybe. No, not maybe. Ilia Topuria is the greatest fighter right now.
I know, but he is.
Jones.
No, I don't disagree. But if Paddy, and I'm an Ilya guy. I think Ilya will beat Paddy. But if Paddy went right through him, submitted him in a minute and a half, it's like, what are we doing this again for? But by the way, I did see this guy.
Ilia Topuria knocked out Max Holloway, Charles Oliveria, and Volkanovski. You give him an immediate rematch.
No, Grant's right here.
They gave Alex Pereira an immediate rematch.
But it was a 5-round, kind of closer fight than what people thought. But okay, real quick, lightweight division. Grant, we got you for 4 more minutes. Ilya Gaethje in January 1st, pay-per-view. They're going to call it PLE, Premium Live Events soon. No more pay-per-view because you don't have to pay for it anymore. Gaethje and Ilya is the first big one in January. I heard the same thing. Paddy and Max looks like it's going to happen too. Maybe even on the same card.
Max?
Yeah.
If Paddy Pimblett beats Max, I'm in. That's a bad matchup for him.
Yeah.
I feel.
Yeah.
Cardio.
Great takedown defense.
Yeah. Like
I don't disagree. And I think, guys, they could get in a really sticky situation if Max beats Patty, Ilya beats Justin. Like, are we doing that just again? Like,
no. Then you go arm on. Then you go arm on.
You go arm on if you beat Hooker. But
Okay.
and this is also, if that happens, and Gamrot beats Charles, this is great for Gamrot because this pushes Gamrot super high off a win over Charles. And I think a lot of the division will be tied up. There's a really great opportunity for Gamrot to get a title shot in there.
Plus, and if somehow Arman wins the championship, didn't Gamrot defeat Arman?
There's an opportunity for that.
One of the greatest lightweight fights that didn't involve knockdowns I've ever seen.
Oh, yeah. The scrambles are
amazing.
Insane.
Amazing.
Hey, Grant, when are we going to put your name in this mix? When is this going to happen?
I mean, Joe Selecki. Put me in, coach.
Joe Selecki's not a fan of fight bananas.
And Damir Ismagulov. Grant took out the old lightweight boogeyman.
Grant, what's your UFC record?
Sorry?
What's your UFC record?
11-1.
That's so good. Dude, that's so good. If you're a heavyweight, you would have fought for the championship 9 times. All right. So Yuri Prochazka, pretty good, huh? That was fun.
What are we talking about?
Did we even finish Banana Blitz?
No, we did. We did most to lose most of the game. Banana Blitz is done. We're done.
Okay. I have never been so upset